Sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma friends, we all have purpose when we sit for meditation. That purpose is in the beginning to find the happiness and satisfaction. Once you find the satisfaction, that satisfaction will lead you to awareness, that awareness will lead you to understand how things come to be as they are. So the very basic moment you have to remember, the very basic foundation of the meditation or the awareness, satisfaction. That satisfaction is come out of the happiness, comfort. So when you look at these trees, these animals, birds, you see they kind of like they are happy. But they are happy, they have no choice, unconscious. But human being, our happiness is more far away than that animals or the trees. Because we have a consciousness. So with that consciousness, we have to develop the awareness. When you have the consciousness for better or to be bad, it always depending on your choice. So that's why you have to be more careful. How you become happy, how you become satisfied. Because that your own choice can lead to unhappiness. Even the misery is, you don't see it as unhappiness, you take that unhappiness as happiness. So for that is why the Buddha mentioned always, your inner freedom is the most valuable thing to you. You always have to see. But when we come to this world from childhood, we are slowly, little by little, get manipulated and start to brainwash through different ideas, culture, tradition, religions, believing, like that. And today who you are means this all. But deeper underneath this all, there is something hide inside you. So in the Buddhism, that is what the Buddha tried to address, not this outside things. Remember, it is related with the pure consciousness, awareness, really who you are, not the mask or not the cloth or not the garment or not the character you put on this skin. It's the deeper inside this skin. There is somebody hide. So because of many reasons, and today that pure organic person, the organic consciousness, sometimes very difficult to find. But this old practice, the very purpose is that. And to get into that awareness, there is a process, little by little, we have to go. But to start that process, remember, it is very important to recognize your choice. That choice sometimes people explain as free will, but that free will mostly come with the word explaining mostly this outside world is conventional freedom with as a communion, as a community. So as a human being, what kind of rights that you have to maintain your life. But when it comes to this deeper inside practice, we have to know that your will means you become free from this all the ideas, dogmas, believings, and independently, by your own choice, by seeing yourself, you get into a path and you start to get into a journey looking for your own salvation. That is the free will when it comes to spiritual path. But it is very difficult sometimes to get into this free will. Because There was a very famous doctor in Germany, and he died 1861, and his name come like Dr. Daniels. Somehow that his books and his research give bigger influence to Hitler to overtake this hint that all the German consciousness. And what this doctor found out, when a child born, within the first 6 months, if you try to teach anything to that child start to be going to behave according to what you teach. And especially if you not allow that child to have a free will, and if you teach that child not to have a choice but to just to behave according to your command, that child start to become like that. And knowingly or unknowingly, somehow what happened, the Hitler found out this method, and still today no one knows how this beautiful nation, how that beautiful country, how that this smart, so wise, educated, well educated people converted to that much a strong ideology and create a big huge disaster. No one knows how it happened, but the Hitler got the influence from this research and the method. So then yourself, how it happened to us is sometimes our life also like a bonsai tree. You see bonsai trees, you can take a huge banyan tree when it is very small, and you put into very limited place, and the roots cannot go that much bigger, higher, longer, and you give very little facilities to little bit water, and little by little what you do, you start to put some pressure on branch, tightening certain through a wire or rope or something like that, you tight and you not allow it to grow. And so what is happening in this tree feel itself it's growing, but it is not growing. It growing, but it becomes so crooked, and it's kind of like a become a midget. The same thing happening to our consciousness also. Knowingly or unknowingly, our ancestors, our grandparents, our parents didn't know what is happiness. And it kind of like they used to follow something else. And then what happened? When they leave, they gave us this replica of their happiness to us. And now we became like that. And we take it. And without knowingly what it is and what we do, where we go, where it takes us. So blaming to our parents or the ancestors is no point, because they didn't know. It is not the way. Then what we have to do? Today yourself, remember, look yourself and say, are you really happy as a person so far in your life? And sometimes that disconnection happen, that sometimes when you do something else rather than what you like to do, like you like to sing, but you have to do concrete work. You like to dance and you like to do drama. Sometimes you have to be kind of like a carpenter. So it is a two different nature. And then while you performing that, you're not happy. This disconnection itself deeply disconnects us from who we are. So then we kind of like acting a character. And the misery is then when we go through this brainwash process, And this bonsai process, what is happening? Then naturally, the misery start. The same thing happened to Hitler, his own son and daughter and sons. This all became mentally ill. And history proved that. And even though their brain was no any kind of damage, and after their autopsy, and their brain was completely good, but their behavior was completely crazy. They are all children. And see, no one did it. It's their own father. They maintain their life like that way. So like that, knowingly or unknowingly, we all came to like that position in the around this all everywhere. That is what you see. Knowingly or unknowingly, by mistake, sometimes through parents' behavior. They, from the beginning, they start to teach to children not to have a free will spiritually in their heart. They have no rights to do that. They have just to follow. So we do that. Everywhere, we like to do it. And we think that is the truth. But what the Buddha mentioned? Buddha is the one who addressed to this mistake. But otherwise everywhere. And sometimes chanting a name. People believe that it's going to make them to liberation. Look how miserable it is. And sometimes doing a puja and sacrificing themselves and following an animal human being trying to transform their life to liberation. It is a misery. How it is possible? Worshipping an animal. How you can gain your liberation rather than looking yourself who you are. Why we do all these things? Because from the childhood, little by little, and we start to get into. So then as parents, as elders, remember, the greatest gift that you can give to your children, not the money, not the position, not your wealth, not whatever the material things that you have. Remember, give them their free will with the spiritual life. Give them their free will to be who they are in a deeper level. And why? Because that brings them the satisfaction or the happiness. It is not becoming poor or rich. It's not going to any more valid for this life. And you have seen it everywhere in the world. Within our lifetime, we have seen it. So anymore, don't believe that. So that's why in the ancient time, there was a tradition sometimes. You follow the teacher. Sometimes you break the rules. When you are able to break the rules, you become the greatest students in that school. So in Eastern tradition, sometimes that's how they used to recognize the best student. If you follow the rules always, go with the rules, and you are anymore not a teacher. You just every day become a student. So then you have to learn every day. So then yourself remember this freedom inside you. It is your choice. You have to decide. Don't blame without blaming to anybody, without blaming to anything, without blaming to system or the history or the parents. You today you have the free will to recognize, breaking down this all the things yourself and look yourself. Are you comfortable? Are you happy? Are you satisfied with who you are so far in this journey? If so, keep continue. Even you no need meditation. Why? Because that satisfaction itself take you little by little to awareness. That awareness itself take you to understanding. But if you are not happy, remember, you have to get into that foundation as soon as possible. It is depend on your choice. So start to recognize that. So even we practice meditation in the beginning, that's why in the little by little, when the mind body start to calm down, the very first quality, you start to gain the comfort. So out of that comfort, you become satisfied. With that satisfaction, you become comfortable and complete. In that completion, your awareness going to become sharp and clear to recognize the sensation, because the sensation is so sharp. And once you recognize the sensation, you know how it arises. And once you see how it arises, you no need any guidance. And you no need anybody to tell what to do. So that is the power of human consciousness. But getting to this step, remember, the very first step is satisfaction, comfort. But without that, remember, there is no spiritual success. So inner satisfaction, inner comfort. If you have the unsatisfaction or the disturbed mind, that is why this everything comes. That's why all the miseries come. Deeper inside our heart, once we become disturbed within ourselves, and then it can create a huge impact inside you and around you with other people. So then remember, little by little, that is what we experience in this world. So then you have responsibility today to reverse the pattern and start to get into the right point yourself and start a new journey from today, rather than repeating your past life, previous things, and start from today. And whatever you do, start to do with the happy, comfortable, satisfied mind. That satisfaction will take you to the next level. And even for other people, allow themselves to, rather than holding, maintaining that that becoming like a dictator yourself to your family, for other people. Just allow them to be free themselves and allow them to deeply inside. Even though we follow all other rules and regulation when it comes to society, deeper inside ourselves, as who you are, always remember, allow other people to keep that freedom. That is the greatest gift that you can give to other people. So then in India, there is a this, for Mahatma Gandhi, they used to call Baba. And the Baba rule means, the Baba means it's kind of like a father. And there is a called Baba rule, and the father is the ruler in the family. And whatever the father says, everyone start to do that. Right or wrong, it doesn't matter. Everyone start to follow that. So the same like it all over the world. Don't keep that kind of Baba theory in your head to overtake that your family or your friends or the students or the environment. No, allow them to be free. Because if you want to be free, remember, you cannot hold anybody in your hand and look for your own freedom. No, the first thing, release yourself and look yourself and find the freedom. And then you will see. There was a very old man, used to live in a village. Everyone knew him because he is very old, more than 80 years. But he was unhappy. He's the sign for unhappiness for entire that village. Even far away when he come, that the people know about him. And he always unhappy, sad, worry, and never, no one knew he was happy. So one day, he used to live close to a lake. And one day there was a mother with a little baby came to the lake to have bath. So this old man, at the same time, this old man also went to have bath. And this little child, and the very nature was in the village. No one used to look at him. Even the parents far away, when this person come, people, the parents say to children, go inside the house. Don't look. Because that seeing itself make miserable other people. That much he was unhappy. And then one day the mother carried her child to have bath, and the mother didn't know this person come behind. Otherwise, she not allow her baby to see even this person. So the baby was holding like this, and the baby was looking back. And then this person come, and the baby look at this person and smile. That's it. Just smiled. And he never had that experience because of his own misery. Not allow other people to smile in front of him. Right away in front of him, he saw this baby smile. And it came like a light. And he went home, closed eyes, and he started to reflect that smile. Again and again and again, that baby smile. He closed his eyes, it came to in front of his eyes, now his heart. Why? Because this is the first time he saw like that something. And very clearly and very pure, it came from very pure heart and completely relaxed. So he started to try to forget it, but he couldn't forget. By the morning, when he wake up, that entire the misery disappeared. And then he start to become happy, start to go here and there, and that completely he transformed next day. Then the whole village got shocked, and everybody start to talk. Oh, that old man, that grumpy man, that sad person, and now smiling. After 8 years, the old people used to talk about him. They didn't believe that. And then everyone gathered and saw he was so completely transformed. And then asked, what happened to you? After so long time, how you became like this? And then he told, all in this my life, I used to look for happiness. I was wishing things, I was waiting things and going here and there, blaming to people and thinking that person, thinking this situation like that. All my life, I was looking for happiness, I couldn't find it. But yesterday, when I saw this little baby smile, it opened my heart. So that transformed the person. So when you meet something pure, clear, it has power to open you. That's why sometimes you go to ocean, you go to the mountains, you like to see the rainbows, and you like to see the nature, you like to hear the birds, or you like to watch the animals. That's why, because it has power to bring some message to you. But the thing is, when we are not able to catch it properly, we try to repeat again and again, knowingly there is something. When you become completely free from the desires, and when you become really who you are, just the smile. You no need this kind of Dhamma talks, or you no need the long lectures. Just the appearance, just seeing that person, even a baby, even just seeing the smile itself has power to transform other person. So then yourself remember, look at the world we live in, how miserable it is, how sad, how worry, everyone with the fear, uncertainty every day. What a misery, with the Dhamma, and with all the science and technology, and with the most that the advanced level of human consciousness, that everything we have today, we are in the highest level of this human civilization. But look at the misery we experience every day. So then yourself, you have a choice. Don't go with the outside world, because you will never find it. You have a choice. Transform yourself. That transformation will bring the happiness to yourself. That is the best that you can do to other people. Why? Because when you have that happiness, when they see you, your appearance itself help them to transform you. So look at, as parents, if the children are not happy, as parents, how miserable your life going to be. If the wife or the husband not happy itself, so how you going to be happy? If one person not happy in a family because of anything, the whole family members start to disconnect. The same thing, then reverse the current and start to bring yourself. So you have responsibility. Once you hear this, you know this. So bring the current to yourself and change yourself and start to transform. That transformation once happens inside you, remember, that is the foundation of your spiritual journey. With that, whatever the building blocks you put step by step with your awareness, it's going to build your success to bring the transformation or the enlightenment or the liberation within yourself. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. So bless you.